Hey guys, howdy, as I usually say. Well, you guys asked me to do a fall makeup look like the one I had on the other day with kind of a metallic eye and a vampy lip, and I'm gonna do it. So I'm not gonna waste a lot of time getting started, but I'll walk you through the steps. I may kind of fast forward or skip a couple of things that I've done in several videos, like when I go ahead and do my foundation, but I'm gonna get started with my eyes like I normally do, and then we'll go from there. So let's see where this takes us. The first thing is putting on eye primer. So I'm gonna start with that. And I'm gonna do my best to continue looking directly at you guys while I do it. So I have the little viewfinder because, and maybe I just shouldn't use it, but it tells me like where I'm at in terms of like battery life and how long I've been recording. So I like having it there because it helps me to stay on track. I know I have a tendency to go a little bit off the rails at times, so I just want to make sure you guys are getting the best content I can give you. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab a transition color for this, the crease of my eye, but I'm going to do mostly stuff on the lid. So I'm going to get started with that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Mary Kay latte color that I use for, let me blend that in, that I use for contouring, and get that blended in there. I have my little cute mirror, but I'm going to hold it down here. And then I'm just using windshield wiper motions to get that into the crease because I want to use something matte there, give a little bit of dimension, and then see that gives me more of a crease where I did not necessarily have one showing up before. See? Okay, let's do this side. And I'm just using this fluffy tapered brush here. You can use just about any brand. This one is the Vasanti Contour Eyeshadow 4. I got this, I think, in an Ipsy bag. Sounds familiar. And then if you blend up a little higher than you anticipate, like if your color's going up a little higher than you think it should, don't worry about that right now because we can always take like a cream colored shade to blend that so that it looks better to you. But right now, that's where we're going with it. And that was, like I said, that was my Mary Kay contour color. And then I'm going to, for the metallic version part of my eye, I'm going to go ahead and use the Profusion palette, the metallics palette. And you guys can see my cool ring light right here. So that's what the pros do, right? Okay. I just keep telling myself that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use the color Lionheart. It is kind of a medium bronzy tone. And get that excess off of there. And the reason I want to do my eyes with this metallic first is because if I get fallout happening, then I can clean that up before moving on to the next thing, which would be my face. My face, girl. Okay, so it's a really pretty color. You can definitely see it on there, but I really want it to show up a bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dip my finger in there, and then I'm gonna just tap that on there. So I kind of like tap and lightly drag it a little bit across the eye. And then because I already did that contour and crease, it gives me this metallic, bronzy kind of look. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the same brush I used before without adding any product and just blend that in. Okay? Okay. And I did get quite a bit of fallout underneath my eye, and you can definitely see all my awesome bags. Because this is real life, ladies. This is real life. And I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye. I'm going to do it the same way I did this first eye, where I go ahead and use a brush to lay down the product, and then I finish it off by adding with my finger. I live in Texas, so I have to say finger instead of finger. It's like a rule. Okay. And get right in that inner corner. I'm gonna get just a little bit more. Okay. And I think they look pretty similar. And go ahead and take this guy and blend that just a little bit. I don't want to over blend it because that's part of why I went ahead. Let's see if I have a little bit of light coming in from the window, so it's showing it so it looks a little bit uneven, but it really is pretty even. But this is where we're at right now. So we have the color laid down on our eye, and that shows, there we go, that it's evenly distributed. And now, I've said this before, and I will say it again about 1,000 times. Your eyelids are going to fold in differently depending on which eye they are. So you want to make sure that you're accounting for that whenever you're applying your eyeshadow. So this eye on me tends to fold in a bit more, so I have to apply my contour color a little bit higher up because it folds in more, so it will show up better. There you go, tip for the day. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna line my eyes. I'm gonna start with a brown, my Mary Kay brown liner, and I'm gonna do my tight line and my water line with that brown liner, and then I'm going to apply a winged liner on top. And the reason I wanna use the brown underneath, inside the eye, is it gives that definition. I mean, you can literally already see it. It gives that definition that you want for the tight line and water line without being really harsh. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so that makes my eye really pop. I like that look. This is all very much like opinion, so if you don't like how it looks, you know what? Don't do it. Okay, there you go. And the thing is, I'm super blind, so I have to do all this with my contacts in, and I have to just try not to draw on my contact, because that is what I would call not ideal. All right, I'm gonna do like a baby wing today. You know, sometimes I do that, like the baby wing look. It's easier, it still gives a little bit of flair to your eye, but it's not hard to do. It still takes practice, but I prefer the baby wing in most cases because it's just a little bit faster. Okay. And see, like, my baby wing is already done. Let's try this other side. I'm gonna flip this around this way to do it. And that's the other thing when you're doing winged liner. Trying to do them exactly the same is just going to be maddening. It's gonna make you miserable. So just do the best you can, keep practicing, doing your winged liner, and it'll all work out eventually. All right, I'm gonna do 2 different mascaras, as I do at times. I'm gonna start with my Mary Kay Lash Intensity Mascara. If I could only use this one, I would only use this one, but alas, I've become a crier, so I'm going to apply that, and then I'm gonna top it with a waterproof option. But one coat of this does a pretty dang good job. See if I can use, there we go. Yeah, look, one coat of this is pretty dang good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit more on my brush. Do the other side. And then I'm gonna top it off. I only do the top lashes with this one because I don't want the bottom lashes to look at all clumpy. I want them to look really nice and light, fluffy. And I've shown you before, there's different zones on this brush, so you can get a really good application. One coat, one coat, one coat, one coat. It does feel like I got a little bit on my lid. So let me check on that. No. No, good job me. All right, so then I'm just gonna top it off with a waterproof. And you know what, I'm gonna grab my Mary Kay waterproof to top it off. So I'm a bad person. Let's go with that. So this is the Lash Love, Mary Kay Lash Love mascara, but the brush on that one, I have really sensitive eyes, so it tends to irritate it. So I use the brush from that I've very, very well cleaned. And every time I get a new tube, I clean and sanitize this brush. But I use a brush that's more traditional from like the original Mary Kay waterproof mascara, because it fits. It screws in just like any other brush, which is super exciting. Okay, there's the top on that side. The top on this side. The other thing about doing this Vampy lip look that's cool is it's Aggie game day. So I get to wear a maroon lip, just rep my Aggies. We'll see how they do. All right, so that's all done. Like the eyes are essentially done. After I'm done with all of my foundation and everything else, I might throw a little bit of something underneath the eye. But as of right now, I am gonna go ahead and get started on my face. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna use under eye corrector. I'm gonna mix an under eye corrector with a concealer. I'm gonna start with that because I kind of want to do that in order to get a better blend between my concealer and my foundation, so my under eyes don't look like blammo. I'm gonna use a brush to do this, and so I can get right into the corners of my under eye, and then when I add my highlight in, it's gonna be nice. Okay, I'm not worried terribly about blending this out because I am gonna put foundation on. And when I do the foundation, I can definitely go ahead and blend those together. But doing my under eye concealer, covering up those dark circles, oh my gosh, they're gone. How exciting. Sometimes my eyelashes just stick together. Okay, so we got that started. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my foundation, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. It's a neutral 140, the Mary Kay Timewise 3D, and I'm gonna go nuts with it and put dots there, dots there, dots there, in the middle. Everybody has like a different way that they apply stuff, and I'm not here to tell you my way is the best way or the only way. So, you know, you just kind of gotta figure out what works best for you. All right, and I'm using the Mary Kay flat foundation brush here. Trying to use a lot of good products. Here we go. Some of these products are not things I would typically buy, but I get them like in my Ipsy bag and I want to give them a good shot, so I go ahead and do that, try them out a few times. But you got your tried and true sometimes. You got your tried and true. Finishing up the foundation. And this one tends to, in my opinion, blend out relatively quickly. You get a nice look going, and then when you finish with powder, it just makes it all flawless. Hashtag flawless. Okay, what did that take? Less than 2 minutes? Something like that. All right, and then I'm gonna use a really fluffy powder brush and go in with my Mary Kay Mineral Powder Foundation. I'm going for a higher coverage look today. I'm gonna do that, give myself coverage all over the face. And because it's fall, I wore my olive green shirt for you guys. I didn't put any earrings on or anything because why? Not necessary. And then I am gonna go ahead and take a smaller brush that I have after I drop it. And I'm going to dip that into the same powder, and then I'm gonna just stamp that under give myself a little bit more coverage. My camera stopped recording for some reason, so I went ahead and started over. I have no idea when it stopped. It's funny because I said I use the viewfinder so I know when things are recording and how long I'm going. How funny is that? All right, so have that done. Going to go in with that contour powder that I have from Mary Kay that I used in the crease of my eye. I'm gonna contour right here, blammo, blammo. And I'm just using a really fluffy brush. I was watching a video last night about like trends that are out for 2019. And a lot of people were saying that the very heavily contoured face or the very structured contour is kind of out. Having said that, I've never really been one for a super structured contour. They said, use your contour with a really fluffy brush and get a softer look. Well, that's kind of how I've always done it. And then, you know, it's because trends always change. They just keep coming and going. Okay. A little bit of contour. I'm going to throw on some Rosy Nude blush from Mary Kay as well. I'm going to try and load this up because this is a very light and neutral blush. Yeah, that's looking really nice. Okay, let's throw that on this side. And I like to really buff my blush in, give it like a really soft, diffused look. Okay, so far so good. This whole look is going to get totally transformed whenever I end up doing the lips, because right now it actually looks kind of soft. Oh, and then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my brows. I am going to go ahead and use the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. I've been using this for a while. It's not as dry of a formula as some of the other ones. And so I really like to go for a dramatic brow with this. And I think when we put the lip on, having a little bit more intense brow is going to be helpful to balance out that look. So we have such a soft eye look going on. We didn't do a really intense wing. Okay, so we have that side done. And it's really interesting because having white brows like I do, when you put your brow on, it just like changes your whole face. I saw this Auburn pencil and I have not seen it since. You'd think I would be a little bit more concerned about overusing it, but I'm not. All right. That's the other thing is, in that art or in that video that I watched, that they were saying that the crazy Instagram brow. This was their words, not mine. The crazy Instagram brows are not in anymore. That having a more natural looking brow is what's in. Having said that, you should do whatever makes you feel good. If you like an Instagram brow, that's great. I've never been able to master it myself. Okay, so I'm gonna throw a little bit of highlight on, and I'm gonna mix a Quartz and, oh gosh, what is the name of this color? Oh, Rose Gold and Quartz, the new Rose Gold that Mary Kay has. I'm gonna throw that highlight on there. There you go. And I will never not do a blinding highlight. I love it. I think it's one of those trends that I'm just gonna live with. I'm gonna get cremated with a blinding highlight on, and I'm gonna be fine with it. Okay. So highlight, eyes. Oh, let's do my inner corner. I am gonna go into that metallics palette again and get the bright white color Illusion, and then we'll see if I can trick you guys, because it's an illusion. Okay. So I went in twice, because typically what ends up happening, in my opinion, is the first time it's like a wash of color, and then I go in a second time, and you see how drastic that difference is. I like it. I feel like I have a lot of darkness in that inner corner, and so I really want to brighten that up. Let's do that buffing technique. So the buffing is what really brings out that brightness. It's not the actual application of product. It's buffing it in. Okay, and then whatever's left over on the brush, I'm just gonna sweep it underneath my brow bone because it's, you know, I'm living in the 90s. And that's what we do. All right, the last thing to complete this look as far as color is concerned is picking your lip. So I have 2 amazing Vampy lip products here for you guys to try out. Depends on what you want. The glossy lip is actually back. And so I have the new Mary Kay Ultra Stay. So the Ultra Stay lip lacquer kit, and this one is in Plum. So I wore this the other day. It's beautiful, but remember you have to top it with the gloss, and then you have to have the remover to get it off of your lips. Totally. I had it on last night. I ate pizza. It was good. It wasn't until I started just like messing with my lips that it started coming off. If you are a kind of person that messes with your lips, just carry this in your pocket and then just constantly reapply it, because that'll make life easier for you. The other product is the Maybelline Superstay. So I got this the other day in the color Voyager. That's what I'm going to go with today. Even though a glossy lip is kind of in right now, I have a lot of things to do today. I don't want to carry around my gloss, so I'm going to use this one. They last very similarly as far as like wear time and how they wear off. I will say after a few hours, this one that I'm going to wear tends to wear off on the inner part of your lower lip. So if that bothers you, you'll probably want to use something else or avoid a Vampy lip altogether. All right, let's apply it. So I went across the middle, did that, and then I worked from the outside in on each of the corners. And then I always do that so I have something to start with on the top. I don't usually have to re-dip. I just dip once. Oh, and I'm covered. Hey, do you guys want to see what I'm doing? Okay. That's better. So on the top, I had mushed my lips together, but I'm still going to go through and apply it underneath right there, just so we can get a full coverage look on the lips. The other thing about using this one is it's a bit more forgiving when you're applying it, because you have a little more time. Once the Mary Kay one dries, it dries, and it does dry very quickly, so you have to work quickly with it. Okay, so we're almost there. When you're doing a really intense lip like this, you have to be able to commit to time applying the product the first time. All right, so we're pretty even. As a human being, your lips are not actually going to be even, so you just gotta do the best that you can with what you're given. I'm gonna set my face with my handy dandy Mary Kay Skindinavia setting spray. And I overdo it every time because it smells so good and it makes me feel good. All right, so this is the finished look. I have kind of a metallic, kind of bronzy eye going, very neutral look on the face. And then the Vampy lip is really what we're celebrating for fall. This is kind of, when I think of it's fall time, everybody thinks sweater weather. I think boots and Vampy lips. So the second I can wear this and everybody thinks, whoa girl, that looks awesome, that's whenever I think it's time. This is, you know, the weather is good. It's a little bit gloomy outside, which I'm fine with. It looks bright, but it's cloudy and the leaves have started falling off and it makes me very excited. So I'm gonna go run some errands, but thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate your time. Please leave comments below on things that you would like more of or less of, and I will do my absolute very best to make that happen for you. If you do like watching me do makeup videos, please like this video so that I know that. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and then ring the notification bell so you can be in the loop for future videos. Having said that, you guys have a great weekend and I'll see you next time. Bye.